So, what is all this stuff? Everywhere you look, there are things to click on, and it's hard to know what to start with. This big welcome screen seems to think I should customize my site, which it has in a big blue button, but when I click on that, I get sent somewhere completely different, and now I don't know how to get back. Okay, I found my way back, and now it says I should write a blog post or an about page or look at my site. Okay, I'll look at my site. Wait, how do I get back? I guess I'll click the back button on my browser. Okay, now I'm back. More actions. Manage widgets or menus. What are those? Turn comments on or off. Do I really need to worry about that now? Learn more about getting started. Why should I need to learn more? I actually just want to get started. This first screen that you see right after logging in is called the dashboard. It provides some quick stats and links to other parts of the WordPress admin. The At a Glance box will tell you how many posts and pages you have, how many comments your site has, and how many are waiting for approval, what version of WordPress you're running, and what theme you're using. To the right of this box is the Quick Draft box, where you can start writing a post right away if you have an idea you just want to write down. The Activity box will show you posts that have recently published and those that might be scheduled. It could also tell you if you have any draft posts that are waiting to be published, and will give a list of recent comments on your site. Next to that is a WordPress news box that displays a news feed about WordPress from around the WordPress community. The Welcome box can be hidden by clicking the X or the Dismiss link. Each of these boxes on the dashboard can be minimized by clicking the top bar or the arrow, and they can be moved simply by dragging and dropping them into a new location. You can remove the boxes entirely by clicking this Screen Options tab and unchecking any of those boxes that you don't want to see. Some plugins and themes might add new boxes to your dashboard, which you can also show or hide in the Screen Options tab. The Screen Option tab will follow you around the WordPress admin and will always provide ways to customize what you see on the page. You might not always have options to change what's on the page, but whenever the Screen Options tab is visible, it will mean that there are some things that you can tweak. Right next to the Screen Options tab is the Help tab. The Help tab opens up a screen that provides information that is relevant to the admin page you are currently on. Like the Screen Options tab, there might not always be a Help tab, in those few instances where help isn't really needed or all the information is on the screen. In addition to telling you about the admin page you are on, the Help tab will provide links to documentation about that page in the WordPress Codex, the online documentation source for WordPress, or a link to the WordPress support forums where you can ask for help and someone in the community will answer your question. Let's take a look over here where it says to me, Howdy Chris. If I click either my picture, my name, or this Edit My Profile link, I'll be taken to the same place, My Profile. Here there's some really basic information about me that is from when I first set WordPress up. But obviously there are a lot of other things here. The first option is for the visual editor. If I wanted, I could disable the visual editor and use the text editor when I'm writing posts or pages. Probably you won't want to do this. The visual editor is a WYSIWYG editor that automatically adds formatting to your content so you don't need to worry about writing out the HTML. By default, both options are available. So if you ever want to write out your own HTML, you can just flip over to the text editor. This option is asking you if you want to always use the text or HTML editor, so you'll probably just leave this unchecked. Next, I can change the color scheme of the WordPress admin. I can click each color to see a preview of that color scheme. The scheme doesn't actually get saved until you update your settings. Keyboard shortcuts are available to moderate comments quickly. Personally, I don't use these, but if you have a blog that gets a lot of comments that need to be dealt with regularly, you can speed things up by using shortcuts. You can find more information about keyboard shortcuts at this link. The next option on the profile page has to do with this toolbar. It's asking if you want to see this toolbar when you're looking at the site. Only logged in users will ever see this toolbar called the admin bar when looking at a site. but you might want to look at your site the way a normal user would without the admin bar. In the next clip, I'll talk about the admin bar more and why I always have it set to display on the front end of sites that I use. Finally, we get to your information. Your username can't be changed, so this field is disabled. But you can add your first and last name and a nickname, and then use any one of these things as your display name. Your display name is what's used in that howdy message when you're writing comments on your blog, and in some themes when a blog post shows who the post author was. Next, your email address, which was added when you installed WordPress, and a website URL. Some themes will use this on an author page. Otherwise, the website URL will link your display name in the comments on the site. This stuff may seem weird at first, but all this profile information is the same for all users of this site. And there are non-administrator user roles, which we'll talk about later, that can be used for visitors of your site who just want to save their information on the site for commenting purposes. You can also enter a bio here. Again, some themes might use this for an author page, or an About the Author box that appears below blog posts, and you can change your password here also. If you've made any changes while you are here, you can save those with the Update Profile button. Let's take a look at the WordPress settings. It's divided up into sections. General is for generic settings that more or less affect the whole site in one way or another. Writing deals with the things that affect posting to the site. Reading deals with how content is presented. By default, WordPress will make your homepage just a list of blog posts. But you can change that and set a specific page to be your front page or homepage by specifying that page in the dropdown. If you want to also have a blog page, you will need to actually create a page for that purpose. The page will have no content, but will just be used by WordPress to display posts. If you don't create and select that page for posts and you have a specific page set to be your homepage, no blog or news page will show up on your site. You can also change the number of posts that display at a time by default and how many posts will display in your RSS feed. So if someone subscribed to your site today and you had 20 blog posts already, they would only receive the most recent 10 of those posts in their RSS reader if you left it the way it is. The next setting here asks if you want to display the full post in RSS feeds and on your site, or if you want to just display excerpts of your posts. This setting affects both things. And you can hide your site from search engines by checking the Discourage search engines from indexing this site checkbox. The discussion page deals with comments. In most situations, you can just leave these settings the way they are. By default, anyone can post a comment, but they must have a previously approved comment on the site before their comment will show up. You will receive an email whenever someone posts a comment, and whether a comment is held for moderation, meaning you need to approve it or spam it. Comments will be enabled for all posts and pages, and if someone links to an article on your site, that will show up in the comments as a trackback. The media settings page deals mostly with image and embed sizes. You can change the defaults here if you want to set a specific size for images that you upload to your posts. We'll talk about permalinks in a little bit. Basically, what a permalink is a direct link to a post. By default, the permalink address of a post or page will have a question mark and then the post ID number of that post or page. This can be changed to something more friendly, and I'll show you how to do it when I show you the first 5 settings on your site to change. Let's move on to navigating the back end and the front end of your site.